Good day, everybody. Welcome back to the flight deck. We are flying the 737 cargo once again. We're here in Stansted. We're going to be flying out to Tallinn in Estonia and making that cargo run on this cloudy and slightly windy Sunday. So let's get on board. We'll get the aircraft set up and ready to go. All right, we're on board. So let's get the parking brakes set on the aircraft. Will pop up top, and we'll start getting her all powered up and ready to go. We gotta ask for ground power to be connected. As soon as we got that, we will turn on the ground power. Put on the position lights so they know the aircraft is now powered. Ground power is up. And leaning back, we'll get the IRSs to start their alignment. Passenger signs can come on. There's nobody on board except me and Roger for the flight, but force of habit. Electric hydraulic pumps are on, yaw damper, window heats both sides. And let's fire up that APU. There we go. While we wait for that to come online, let's take a look at our flight plan for today and where we are headed. Alright, so here we are. We're down in London Stansted here to the northeast of London. We're going to be taking off on the collecting departure here on runway 26. Make that left turn, loop around out to the coastline, up over the bottom of the North Sea, flying north of Amsterdam, coming up over the Netherlands, northern Germany, across Hamburg, just coming underneath the Danish islands where Copenhagen is, across the bottom tip of Sweden, out over the Baltic, and up to our destination here in Estonia. That is today's flight. Should be a good one. APU is now up. We'll switch over to the APU generators. Get the APU bleed air on and the isolation valve open. Packs will come on both sides as well, so we get the air pumping in. I'm going to come down here and get the rest of the FMC set up and get us ready to go, and I'll see you when it's time to get ready for our push. Alright, so that's all our checks done. We're going to get Roger to get that door closed outside.
And radar heading 100 degrees, shuttle 2958.
And just moving up, we're going to confirm we are on the APU generators and APU bleed air. And we are good for our pushback. Everything is set with the aircraft and we are ready to go. So quick outside check. Not sure why those stairs are still there, but that's fine. Let's get the pushback ready. And yep, they're moving that out of the way. So we're going to come out, we're going to push back, straight back, and then we're going to look at doing a turn so that we are going to be facing out this way. Runway 22, the runway we're going to be using, and the one that aircraft is now landing on, is over there. So that's where we're going to head for our departure. Nice Ryanair landing over there. I wonder if the runway is supposed to be wet.
0315, contact Heathrow direct.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Bye-bye.
Alright, they're coming in for push. We don't need this anymore. We'll bring our
Shuttle
map back up.
2958, climb
And as
flight
you
level
can see,
110.
showing us where we're going to be heading out over the coast.
Shuttle 2958.
Aegean 602,
And we'll catch up with you when we're ready for after engine start checklist.
Good afternoon, Speedbird 64 Golf.
All engines clear. Start at will.
Climb flight level 90.
Alright, so that's two good engine starts. We'll let them know. Confirming the start.
We have a good engine start.
And do the rest of our checks. So, generators 1 and 2 are now on. Engine 1 and 2 start switches are continuous. Probe heat is coming on. Engine anti-ice is not required. Engine 1 and 2 bleeds are on. Packs are coming back on. Recirculation fans to auto. Isolation valve to auto. APU bleed off. APU is off. Moving down, we're going to go flaps 5 for takeoff.
Shuttle 2958, turn left, heading 050 degrees.
There we go, and yes, you can. I believe you can do it.
Speedbird
Flight controls.
resume own navigation.
Over to
Begin
the
to
systems
hold,
page,
you can
full
start
left,
using the
full
holding
right,
speed.
neutral, full back, neutral, left, and right rudder
Tow truck
is
disconnected.
good. Engine instruments
Bypass
are
pin
checked.
removed.
Everything is good there.
Left is clear.
Auto
Right is
throttles
clear.
are armed. LNAV, VNAV are armed. Morning recall is good. And we are ready to go. So waiting for him to come out.
120, say fraction 5 Papa, leveling 5,000 feet.
Show us the pin.
Monarch 9120
Excellent.
London, Roger, score guidance.
So give him the wave.
5 degrees.
And we will be good to go. See some aircraft movements around here. It's fairly busy here at Stansted. He's going to walk away. And we are good for taxis. Taxi light coming on.
Speedbird 9225,
Make
descend
sure
flight level
anti-collision light is
110.
on.
Descend flight level 110,
And we are good for
Shuttle
taxi.
2958,
We're going to
turn
taxi
left,
out Alpha
60 degrees.
to Hotel and then Romeo for the runway.
London, Roger, score guidance.
Alright, we're at the runway. We'll get the auto brake set to RTO. Taxi light is on pre-departure checks. Fuel flow is checked and is reading equal. V speeds are set 141, 143, and 147. MCP 157, 222 heading, and 37,000 feet. We're good for takeoff. So position lights are strobe and steady. Taxi light is off. Turn off lights are on. Landing lights are on. Transponder
130 direct, begin to hold.
is TARA. Both sides are now going into TCAS, train collision and avoidance, traffic control systems. Runway is identified as runway 22. We've got an aircraft inbound. Once he touches down, we'll take position behind and move out for our departure.
Begin to hold.
Good luck. shuttle 295.
Looks like the runway's clear.
120, turn left heading 035.
So we are good to go. We'll get the clock running.
035. on
Engines to
heading
40%.
Speedbird 64 Golf, fly heading 095 degrees.
Heading 095 degrees, Speedbird 64 Golf.
Tango Charlie Delta Golf Sierra, you with me?
Yes, with you, reading 140.
Tango Charlie Delta Golf Sierra, roger. Monarch 9120.
Engines
Climb
are
flight level
stable.
90.
Brakes released. Takeoff power set.
Monarch 9120.
November 9895, climb flight level 120.
120, 9895.
Airspeed's alive.
Check.
Speedbird 347, descend flight level 120.
3 knots.
Check.
120, Speedbird 347.
Aegean 602, resume air navigation. Begin to hold.
To begin on hold, EGSS 602.
633 Delta, turn right heading 110 degrees. Report the heading to London 134.9.
Heading 110 and 134.9, please, we density.
November
Positive,
5895,
Gear up.
fly heading 115 degrees. November 5895, turn left heading 115 degrees.
15, 9895.
Monarch 9120.
Autopilot
turn
is
left
on.
heading 025
So we have a positive rate. Gear up. Autopilot is on. Auto brake is now off. Gear lever is in the off position. Engine start switches are now both off. Taxi light,
November 5895,
runway
climb flight level
runway turn-off lights are
170.
off.
Level 170, 9895.
Monarch 9120, climb flight level
Cabin
100.
pressurization is looking good. We're making our turn.
Tango
We'll
Charlie
get ready to
Delta
start
Golf
bringing the
Sierra,
flaps
climb
up.
flight
So
level
flaps
80.
2.
Golf Tango Charlie, Delta Golf Sierra, climbing flight level 80.
Flaps 1.
Adia 020 London, Roger, score Kaiden. Speedbird 347, descend flight level 110.
110, Speedbird 347.
Speedbird 347 heading to London, correction, contact spot Heathrow 134.975, bye-bye.
34975, Speedbird 347.
Thank you. Check.
We're making our turn south of the airport.
Daisy 136 Golf, Roger, score Kaiden. Turn right heading 105 degrees.
Right heading 105 degrees, turning right to spoken 136 Golf.
Monarch 9120, climb flight level 130.
Flight level 130, Monarch
We
9120.
do have a 210 knot
heading to London,
speed limit until SSE 06. That's the one that said we wouldn't reach 210 by, which we have.
349, bye-bye, 9895.
And once we make that turn, flaps will come up. We're going to climb to climb up to 6,000 feet until the Clacton VOR, and then we'll be climbing up to our cruise. So there we are, above 210 knots, flaps coming up.
Tango Golf Sierra, climb now, flight level 1.
We have our normal speed restriction of 250 knots, which you'll see our PFD change. There it goes, as soon as the flaps are fully retracted. And we are heading out. See quite a bit of traffic in the London area. Some rain off that way, and there's the airport down there. So we got off in the good weather, and we're heading out. So we're going to be flying at, slowly working our way up to 6,000 feet, and then 30 miles out at Clacton we'll begin our climb to cruise out over the North Sea. Sit back, enjoy. We'll catch up with you as we're descending into Estonia. Hey, welcome back everybody. We've begun our descent down into Estonia. We are currently coming up on 20,000 feet and descending. There's a little bit of traffic around us as we head in. Runways have changed as weather's come around. We're now landing on runway 08 and we'll continue our descent prep and get set for that. So destination weather, the current weather down in Estonia, winds are 020 at 6 knots favoring runway 08, and that is the runway in use. 23 degrees, skies are clear, 10 miles of visibility, and no ceiling. Looks like once we get through this little bit of cloud here, it should open up out by the water. 1025 is the barrow, and that is all preset. Arrival data is set in. We're going to be doing a flaps 40 arrival with a reference speed of 137. Landing altitude, we'll pull up the chart for the airport, and the airport elevation is 135 feet. So we're going to set that to 150. Landing altitude is set. Radios are good. Localizer, ILS frequency, and course are all laid in. It's a 081 degrees. Localizer is set 108.3, and we've set 112.2, which is the airport VOR. That is set as well. You can see the extended runway center line on the ND, along with our 25-mile, 10-mile, and 4-mile rings that we put in. Recall has been checked and is good. MCP, we're set up. We're setting to our platform intercept altitude of 22,000 feet. We're going to follow the arrival and approach in as set in the computer. Altimeters will switch over. We do have a transition altitude of 5,000 feet. We'll do it about 10,000, and minimums are set 330 feet on the barrel. Missed approach, we're going to fly straight ahead on a heading of 081, and we'll dial that in now, and we'll climb out to 2,200 feet, and we will contact Tallinn, or in our case, we'll self-vector around out over the water and swing back around for another attempt. Auto brakes are going to be set to 1, and they are now set. So we're just working our way down 10,000 feet. We'll get the lights on and our speed down, and we are looking good. We have no speed restriction until we reach TN 901, which is the turn point up here, and that is 230 knots, but we'll be down below that by the time we get there. Coming up on 16,000 feet, we'll get the seatbelt signs on in the back. Our logo lights are off, that's fine. These are all good, and we're good across the board there. So right now we're just waiting on 10,000 feet. We are descending via the profile, 1,500 feet per minute. There is traffic around us, as you can see, and we did have one aircraft in front of us. I thought he was heading into Tallinn. We'll see where he ends up, if he's going to disappear or not. 2 hours 9 minutes into the flight, we had a scheduled flight time of 2 hours and 24 minutes. So we're doing pretty good on our schedule. We're within a couple minutes. Everything has been cooperating. He might be at a TCAS range, which is why we're not picking him up. We'll see about that. But there's the 20-mile ring around the airport that is automatically put in. So basically, we're going to make this left turn, and then we'll come up and make a right turn for the intercept onto the ILS. Once we're down on the airport, we're going to exit off to the right, or correction, to the left, and then we are going to taxi down to the apron. Then we're going to be parking in stand M33. That is at the cargo terminal. So we're going to get off of Alpha at Mike Charlie, and we'll follow that into stand 33. I do not think GSX knows where all that is, so we'll not be using them to get us into the gate anyway. Alright, looking good, as you can see. Coming over Estonia now. leaving the Baltic Sea behind. Just a little bit of cloud, and then the airport's up on the coast. So there's 12,000 feet. I'm going to select 245 knots. We'll let the engine spool back to idle. And then we do have a deceleration point up here at the Sullen waypoint. And that's where we're going to slow down. Start deploying our flaps and getting us all ready to go. Latest METAR was 17 minutes ago, or 23 minutes ago. No changes, it's the same one. We have 1 hour and 29 minutes till sunset. So it's a nice early evening arrival for us here into Estonia. Speed is slowly creeping down. Deceleration point will help. And again, airport is off about our 1 o'clock, our 10 o'clock, maybe our 11 out over that way. Anyway, there's 10,000 feet coming up. We're going to get the landing lights on. Turn off lights will come on. This ding Fred in the back, he can make sure everything is closed up and the coffee and sandwiches are put away. Cabin is depressurized or repressurizing. Everyone says depressurizing, but we're actually adding pressure in as we come down, and that is good. Speed's coming back nicely as we decelerate. We're going to switch over to local pressure now. You can see the jump in the altitude, and we're going to go right to flaps 5. Flaps 5 is set. That'll help slow us down. We're going to start descending down to get on the profile again. And again, TN 901, which is that point there at the turn, we're going to be down to 220 knots and above 2200, as you can see. I think Vermox, we're going to actually want to be at 2200, so we'll execute that. There we go. That'll get us set up nicely. Let's switch over to 20 miles now, and we're not going to use the terrain radar. It is dead flat out here, so terrain is not going to be an issue for us today. "26 miles from the airport, and we are looking good. Thousand feet, we're going to bring our speed down to 240 now. And we are going to slow down to 200 by TN 901. And then we'll slow down from there as we go. Of course, 200 we can go flaps 10. And that'll get us in. Alright, so with everything there done, let's get our final approach checks done. So nav, course, and frequency are entered in. Speeds are within limits. Speed brakes are now armed. Auto brake is armed. Approach mode will do as we come up. Engine start switches are to continuous. Go around altitude is already set at 2200, so we don't have to worry about that.
Aerobic 3 Yankee
10 miles.
2000 feet, Channel 1025.
We are picking up localizer. We are picking up the glide slope.
Aerobic 3 Yankee Foxtrot, clear the separation with your right report.
Speed will come back to 200. Speed is coming back. We're now below the maximum for there, so we're good. Airport's over here. Nicely below the glide still. Speed's 216. And we're below 210, so flaps going to flaps 10. Continuing to send down on a profile, we are now going to arm approach mode. VOR localizer is armed, glide slope is armed. $1,000 to go. Localizer capture. Nice turn over the woods. There's the Baltic coast.
2500.
And there's the airport on the other side of the water there. Coming down to 2200 for the capture. 10 miles out, speed down to 185. There's the town. 2200 coming in. Speed coming back to 185. 8 miles. Glide slope's alive and in movement. Seven miles, gear down. Geared it down 3 green. Flaps 15. Speed back to 165. Alright, lights are all on, engine mode are continuous. We're all good there. Cabin is notified. Give a quick ding in the back. We're all good there. Auto brakes armed, speed brakes armed, airport's in sight. 5 miles. We're going to bring ourselves down to our approach speed, which is going to be 142. Flaps 25. Decibel 160, flaps 30. Reference speed, flaps full. Gear down 3 green, flaps full, auto brake arms, speed brakes arms, cabin notified, lights are all on, runway is identified.
1,000.
1,000 feet, aircraft stable. Is that slight wind out of the left? This hangar over here is where we're going to be parking in front of. That's the cargo complex over there. It's 500 feet. I have control. Two whites, 2 reds.
Approaching minimums.
Good.
Minimums.
Continue.
ESR 208, Tower traffic wind 010 degrees.
Throttle off.
08, left land, keep Foxtrot.
50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
That's 100 knots. 85 manual braking. Engine reversers off. 60 knots. It's 40 knots. Down to 20. And we'll get off here at Foxtrot. Nicely done. Alright, so flaps for traction, speed brakes, disarm, transponder will stay on, position light will now go to steady. Landing lights, turn off lights are off, taxi light is on, APU is starting, anti-ice not required. Probe heats will now go off. Engine start switches will go off. Auto brakes are off. I'll reset the auto throttle, disconnect. And master caution reset. So we're going to taxi down this way. Come around the corner here. So I hope you enjoyed the flight. All the other traffic that we have seen has been provided by FSLTL. The trees and some of the colorations and stuff are provided by Rex AccuSeasons Advanced. And hope you've enjoyed. If you have, please consider hitting the subscribe button. Helps us grow the channel, makes us a little bit more visible here. as we try to promote flight simming for fun. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down in the video description. I do answer them when I see them. So don't worry about that. They will not get ignored. If you have more detailed questions, or if you'd like to fly with us on our live streams, you're more than welcome to. All our live streams are community flights. You can come along and join us. You can come over to the Discord. There's a link in the description that'll take you there. And on the Discord, you can get the information about what we're flying, where, and when. Some flights are done on VATSIM, some are done as multiplayer, and you can join in if you wish. As well, if you really want to support us here on Digital Flight Deck and you want to help with some of the new aircraft that are coming out, the new Sim 2024, which is releasing in the fall, or even some of the scenery and some of the different airports that we fly to, please consider joining the channel for the for a coffee or two, the cost of a coffee or two a month. You can help us showcase some of the aircraft and some of the sceneries and airports that we fly to. So we're just going to come around these buildings here, and then we're going to turn off Mike Charlie, which we will see coming up on the right. And then from there we are going to pull up into the parking spot in front of that cargo building. See, it looks like a couple of Air Baltics sitting there. You know, this traffic being provided by FSLTL. Yep, a couple Air Baltics. Alright, so we're going to turn in over here. See that sun going down, starting to set. Keep the aircraft moving here. There we go. And right ahead is the cargo operations for Tallinn Airport. We're going to go to the building that's on the left there. And park in front of there. So as we pull up, we'll turn off the taxi light. We will switch on the APU for the bleeds for the APU. And we're just going to pop outside so we can make sure we get ourselves nicely lined up. And we'll come around to this way so we can see what we're doing. And make sure we get that nose wheel on the line. There we go. Welcome to Estonia. So with the aircraft parked, we'll go into the menu, we'll get the ground power and chocks. Pop up top. We're not going to run the APU generators, we'll leave her on the ground power, but we'll use the APU for the air in the back. So ground power is set, we'll pop down, kill the fuel, anti-collision light will come off. Ground equipment is all coming in. Pumps will all come off except for the left aft one. Isolation valve in the air system will go to open. Recirc fans will come off. Engine bleeds will come off. And that'll leave the APU providing the air. And we are all good there. Windshield heats can come off. I think everybody else is pretty good. We'll switch that over to ground. Back down, we'll clear the master caution. Flight directors will come off, and they can start
this parking is too small for your
unloading the aircraft. And here they come. So as I get underway with deboarding, thank you very much for coming along on the flight once again, and we will see you on the next one. Take care. Bye for now.